Hello. The butterflies have been loving these zinnias. Every day I just see so many out here. They're beautiful and they're helping out the butterflies through this horrible drought. Here comes another one. Aren't they lovely? Oh, some sort of wasp in there as well. So grow the lovely things for all your pollinators as well, especially in a drought, because they need it. Hello, I'm Jamie and this is Dig It Homesteading, and today I've got my big giant bowl and big giant colander and some nippers, and I've got a very large bush behind me that the birds planted for me. All of that's elderberry, so I'm going to go around and harvest it, and we're just going to go with the flow today and get some things done. See, they're lovely, and I go ahead and I just take off the ones that have mostly dark ones, and then I go through and pick off the green ones. You don't want to use the green ones. You don't want to eat these raw either. They do have a toxin in them. So any of them that are not ripe, I just quickly pick them off so I don't have to deal with them later. And you might lose a few, but just try to pick the ones that are mostly really dark. And it will keep putting flushes on for you. Well, my audio was a little hit or miss today, so I figured I'd just come on here and let y'all know how much I appreciate y'all. And this is one of those plants that just kind of showed up in my yard thanks to the birds, and this plant grows native in my area. So if you're not able to get this in your area, I have seen it for sale online. See if it's frost hardy to your area. See if it'll grow well. Give it a try. Get some seeds online. This stuff just literally grows like a weed, but I encourage you to try it out. See, ones like that I'm not picking because they're mostly green. We need to let them ripe. Some of these I'm not picking. I'm not going to take everything. I don't know if you can see this one, but it's got some berries missing. So I like to leave some like that for the different animals, because animals can eat these. But if they're like this, especially the smaller heads with just a few unripe berries, I like to go ahead and pick those. But I never ever pick all, because I do share with the animals. And if you have suggestions for what else I should use this for aside from elderberry syrup, let me know. I know people have made wine and jellies, and I have not done that, so if you have a recipe for it, let me know. There's some big ones way up here, so I'm really gonna have to get in there to reach those, and I think that'll be it for today. This is my third harvest from this year. And this is an old fig tree that did not make it through a freeze. So we will have to plant that a new one out, and I do have a couple in the back if they survive this heat. Look how big those are. So hopefully my little baby figs that I have out back, I don't even know what variety they are, but hopefully they survive, because I would like to have a fig tree again. That was probably one of the first trees that we planted on this property 15, 16 years ago when we moved here, which it's been good to us, and I've preserved a lot of figs, but not the last couple years. We've had untimely, extremely bad frost lately. That's how much we got today. So I'm gonna take these in and we'll get them cleaned up and start doing what we need to do with them. We might need to preserve them later. I don't know what we're going to get into today, but that's quite a lot of elderberry, and I still have a bunch from last year, so we need to get to work. Okay, so I'm going to get these rinsing. I have a little project I need to go help sister with, and I use a pick. Let me rinse it off. She had picked the last batch and left them gross. Sometimes kid helpers don't always finish, but that's okay. But I just take a pick and I just run it through like this and get all the berries to come off. And I still want to try to get any green ones or not quite ripe ones out. But I'm going to let these sit here and soak. We're going to go rearrange her bathroom closet so it's nice and has a reset. I won't bore you with that today. Just one more thing I hope to get done today. And we will let these soak. And just be prepared. Bugs do live in these. These are a natural habitat for a lot of things, which is why I leave them to soak. If you're worried about them, sometimes they do walk out of the water. So if you're worried about it and you don't want to deal with that kind of thing, soak them in a big thing like this outside. That way they can walk off outside. And if you're like me, you don't really mind picking a few bugs up and chucking them outside, and do it inside. But look how nice and neat this does. Look at that. So easy, so quick to get all those little berries in there. So I'm going to just go through and get all these off real quick while she does something, and then I'm going to go help her out. So this is definitely one of those tasks that can either be fun or completely tedious, and the addition of a hair pick has made this where I really enjoy doing this task. And to have this wonderful plant to be able to harvest out of my yard is great, but you know, like I do, your time is valuable, and if it's something that's going to be meticulous, then it's not necessarily going to be something that gets done. So I'm glad I finally worked this out. I've been growing this a few years now, and I don't know, one of those sleepless nights, I was just like, maybe this will work, and it did. So Dollar Tree pack of 2 for 99 cents. Well, now $1.25. Hair pick has been absolutely perfect this season for getting me through this task and collecting all of our organic elderberry from our yard to have many uses further down the road. Now I'm going to just go through and get out as much of these stems as possible. And if there's little bitty pieces, I'm not going to be that bothered. And as you can see, there's still some green ones. So I will take some time to go through and pick those out. And any that are not ripe. And I'm going to put all of this extra stuff in my worm bin and see if my wormies like that. If you don't know how to set up a worm bin, please scroll back. And I have a video teaching you how easy it is to do that. And I'll be back in a little bit, and it'll be a few seconds for you. So the project with Sister took a little bit longer than I thought it would, and I have maybe an hour before I have to be ready because we're going to the movies tonight. So I'm going to quickly pick through these and pull out any of the little green ones and discard those, and then I'm going to drain them, and I'm going to add them to this gallon bag. So this might have been actually the 4th time, because the first harvest I did, I bagged up and gave to a friend of ours. And then this would be the second. We have a third. There was a series of unfortunate events that happened, so the chickens got those. So I'm going to quickly get through these. And depending on how long this video is, we might pick up again tomorrow. If not, thanks so much for watching. Hit subscribe, hit like, leave me a comment, and me and my awkwardness at the sink. And I'll see you on the next one.
So after you get them all soaked and rinsed, I like to drain them. It seems to work a lot better to go through and pick them if you drain them and then sort through. That way they're not all floating around. You don't know which ones you've sorted and which ones you haven't. And I am not that picky. I will leave a few green and a few little tiny stems. That's not going to make a bit of difference to me. And here I show you. I take out the bigger bits. Some of the smaller bits stay behind, and I'm completely fine with that. I just want to get most of the stems and most of the green ones out. And luckily, I didn't find any creepy crawlies in here. I did find a few bits of spider web. So I like to take the whole bunch and just discard that. And quite a lot more dark than green. Like each handful, I want to see way more dark than green. This is my favorite part. It's one of those mindless tasks that you can just sit there and zone out on what you're doing, and you don't have to think about anything else except for what you're doing. And I like to call those little brain breaks. Alright, so all that's left to do is to get my freezer bag and gather up all these elderberries and get them in the bag, and then I will stick them in my freezer, and I will continue to add to this bag as I get more harvest, and I might grab from this bag to do projects with. So it is kind of like a revolving door. Never know if it's coming or going. And I thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will leave a little bit of a cleanup clip at the end of this video, and see you on the next one. Love you. Bye-bye.